Hi there, my name is Danny Henderson, and I have a very powerful message for my brothers and my sisters on my planet. This planet is run by the dimmest, the most unintelligent, the most genetically defunct, the stupidest, the dim-witted of all dimwits, the biggest village idiots of all missing village idiots. If you can think of a word that is beyond that somebody is so dumb, they are so stupid, then this is the basis for the actual people, monsters, psychopaths, sociopaths, half-wits, hybrids, satanics, ETs, malevolent ones, of course. Just think of the worst possible if you can be bothered. They look funny too. Insidiously ugly. Insidious evil cannot hide itself physically. So when you see all these billionaires lined up that are buying up all the food, buying up all the seeds, buying up all the land, like Bill Gates, they are so incredibly unattractive. It's because the evil and the insidiousness on the outside. That monster I just mentioned as an example, that's one Muppet who's got way too much power, and who gave it to him? I didn't. Did you? Did you give him power? I didn't. Are you okay with him having all that power? I am not. And I have a voice on my planet. And so do you. So do you. So start using it. There is so much advanced technology that would ever, always help a being survive a cancer situation, an illness situation. And now, as you can see, there's all these sudden turbois. Turbo illnesses 5 years in after the you know what. And have we forgotten it was a manufactured pandemic? Did you forget that bit? Because sometimes we do, because we're so stressed, we're trying to stay alive, pay bills, because that's the plan of the knobheads, the losers, the dimwits that hate you. They want to genocide you, and it's true. And if you can't handle it, Karen, leave. Colin, bye-bye. Go read the paper if you can. Or a Beano, or a Dandy. I'm showing my age now in Britain. But people, if you care about each other and you care about your planet, you've got to start using your voice. Because these asshats, not white hats, not black hats, asshats, have got too much control, and they are destroying everything in front of you. They are the very reason for the climate change and the global warming. They are the very reason for starvation and famine in different countries. They are the very reason why the education system globally is spewing out humans who are not very smart, but it's not their fault. They are the reason why the real history of your planet has been redacted, and you better be paying attention, because if you're not, it's going to get worse. Not in a year. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about right now. One thing you better be doing is paying attention to keeping hold of cash. Are you noticing? Are you? Hey, don't like my tone? You got lots worse to worry about than my tone. And if my tone just gets you a bit good, and I'm doing my job. If we lose cash, we're dead. All of us. Right? I've got a big mouth, yeah? I've got a passion and a love for my brothers and my sisters, and I'm not stopping till my last breath, right? So, if I lived in China, I'd be seen as a bit of a problem. They'd be like, yeah, you're not having any money this month because you can't stop talking and telling the truth. We don't like that. So cut my money off. Let's say you're my friend. You go, oh, Danny, sorry about that. Let me give you a couple of quid. You give me 20 quid. And then the Chinese, they go, the CCP, the governing body, not the lovely Chinese people. I don't know what that is. Go away, please. And so they'll go, what are you doing? You mustn't give that money to that person. Oh, I'm being racist, am I? Are you getting triggered, are you? Let it go. Focus on the information, please. So you give me 20 quid, and because I'm starving, I've got no access to money because all our money's in bank. It's all digitized. And then that person that gave me 20 quid, their bank account gets frozen too, because they mustn't help me, because they want me to either die, starve, leave, or never speak again. Okay, it's already happened. China was a model. They used China as a model. They recognized something. There is a government above all governments. The countries aren't run individually. No, you've all been lied to. Do you know what they do? They sit around and they carve up your world. I can prove it. Get an education. Read this book, Kathy O'Brien. She's speaking at my next conference, North Carolina, Charlotte, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, where we bring the truth. We whistleblow on everything. Kathy O'Brien, you may have heard of her. She was used, abused by presidents, by politicians, by senators, and the names are in this book. And you know, most of them are still in power today. Oh, yes, they are, John. Oh, yes, they are. Trump's not in it. But there are plenty of other names you'll recognize. Oh, yes. The Transformation of America tells you how Kathy O'Brien, Kathy with a C, witnessed these asshats sitting around and carving up. You take Sweden, you take Germany, I'll take Munich, I like the sausages there. This is how the Muppets who've been running my planet, your planet, our planet, talk to each other. And you better know it. It's been happening and no one's telling you, but I'm telling you. Because I love humanity and I fight for us and I fight for truth and we are bringing it all. Let me tell you who else you should be reading. You should be reading Nikola Tesla. This little book, it's so tiny. I did a presentation on it at my last conference on May 10th. Nikola Tesla, it tells you of the inventions that he created for this planet. Remote controlled drone technology, Wi-Fi, telecommunications, X-ray, turbines. We never should have ever paid a single electricity bill. But asshats like Edison and JP Morgan, I know some of you have heard it before, but some people haven't. So we need to give them a minute to catch up, okay? JP Morgan crushed the funding he was giving Tesla for many reasons. And actually, Tesla's quite nice about that asset because Tesla was a very different being, a very clever man. And he was condemned and abused and taken advantage of because he wasn't a very good businessman, apparently. Well, we can't be genius at everything, can we? The technology he gave us would have been having this whole planet running on maglev trains, on magnetic levitational cars. If you look at the photos of the world fairs, you will see the technology is there. And it was shut down and it was kept from us and it went underground, behind doors and to the elites. To the advanced technology kept by the billionaires. They are not cleverer than you, please. You've really got to get a handle on that. When you look up to people with loads of money, loads of wonga, oh, they're so clever. No, they're not. Do you know how many were handed that? Do you know how much of that money is generational money for bloodline families? Did I lose you? Bye-bye. You've got to pay attention. Pay attention. It's not conspiracy theory. You've been brainwashed and programmed to turn off at certain trigger words, trigger points. Trigger words like conspiracy theory. Do not celebrate or worship somebody who you think is higher than you. Do not worship. Do not kowtow. The authorities on your planet, every country, all of them have screwed up this world. And we let them. I let them. You let them. Yes, you did. Oh, but I didn't know. Johnny boy never told me. No, Doris, John never told me either. I've had to figure it out. And now I'm letting you know. There's no excuse. But what can I do? I'm only one voice. Your voice is needed. All voices together, we create the volume that we need. We create the energy that we need to say, get down, sit down. Get your ass into prison or you'll be judged in a court of law. But not by dodgy judges, not by bought and paid for judges. Oh my God, not by pedos, the pedos that run the world, not by the maps and minor attractive people. Oh my God, there's a terrible place for you and you're all going there. And you can stop trying to socially engineer our children. I have to calm down. I'm going to focus on a couple of areas. Now, I told the world for the second time I'm bringing UAPs, but I don't say the word UAP, that's a military term. I said I'm bringing identified spacecraft, not UFOs, not unidentified flying objects. Now, you've got to understand one thing if you care about your planet. Half of the craft that you see in the sky, it's all relevant, it's all connected. It's military craft, it's reverse engineered military craft. It's military personnel running drugs, guns, kids, trafficking. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Project Studebaker. There's one. Go and have a look at that one if you can. It's been happening. It happens. And it's going to keep on happening if you don't put your attention on it. On September 27th, 2024, Elena Danan, a woman the world is terrified of. And when I say world, I mean Muppets. Nazi campaign is like NASA. Yeah, NASA. Scared of Elena Danan. She's so repressed. She's so shut down. She's got more balls than any man I've met in my life. She's brought so much information on technology on this planet. And she too is repressed and shut down and ridiculed and judged by idiots, by fools that also don't want disclosure. And this is where I'm going. You don't want disclosure. You want to keep your gig going. You want to keep reporting on things you know nothing about. The theory of the orb, the sphere, the metals used, the propulsion. You haven't got a clue how they work. You've never seen one. You've never been on one. You've never flown in one. You've never left the planet. You've never been to Mars. You can get there in less than 10 minutes. Oh, how funny. How funny. Well, if that was true, it'll be on TV, would it? Would it though? If that was true, Elon Musk wouldn't wear a t-shirt called Occupy Mars. He either doesn't know or he's bloody lying. And I couldn't care less about the Elon and the Trump argument. Listen, girls, you stand in the corner and you go get on with that, because it could be a smoke screen to smoke out others, and I'm just not interested because I'm mad as hell. Everyone's going round and round in circles. We brought the craft 27th September 2024 over the Westin Hotel in Colorado. 1,000 people at my conference, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, stood outside and saw it. And you know, the American media, yeah? I said, okay, I'm going to do it again. I, Danny Henderson, will do it again. May 10th, 2025. I did it again. I did it again. And this time with JP. And JP's an Army insider who's been given permission to speak about the moon, about the American military and other government militaries going to the moon. You never heard about it, and you ain't gonna. The telly's never gonna tell you. The governments and the militaries have so much corruption and murder and evil and genociding and spraying, and they hate you. When are you gonna wake up? And Jesus isn't coming anytime soon to pick everybody up in a spaceship either. That's also a lie. Okay? Did I lose you there? Did I tap the religious button? And now you shut down. Grow up. Grow up. We are in charge of ourselves, our healing, our souls, and how our planet is run. And they, the dimwits, the village idiots, the asshats at the top, are not. The self-appointed, self-anointed. Now, let me tell you something else before I continue. The militaries and the governments and the organizations and the music industry and the science and the education and the medical, these industries, these complex industrial complexes, they are owned by people that do terrible, terrible things. They are owned also, and they are staffed with witches and warlocks. A warlock is a male witch. They do terrible, terrible things. They've always done terrible, terrible things. Their main religion is Satanism. Let me explain to you how it works in brief, and I'll give you another book that you should read. Jesus Christ, who I love, and I'm not a Christian, that's up to me. I met him when I was 7, and up yours. I met Jesus at 7 years old. I know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I know he's not coming back anytime soon to pick you up on a spaceship. He came to show you to stand up for yourself and get your shit together and do the work yourself. damn it, now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Jesus. Oh yeah, I remember. Jesus Christ is to the loving God. Yeah, not the one that kills children and says everyone's a sinner. That's a made-up story. You know, the violent, wrathful one? You know, the demanding, murdering one that makes men violent to women? That one? That's a made-up story, yeah? I'm talking about the loving, benevolent creator. I'm talking about Jesus Christ and the love that he revered. Call it what you want. God, creator. I'm talking about that one. Yeah, the one that Jesus would speak about. So if you think Jesus Christ is to the good, loving God, what Lucifer is to Satan, that's how you figure it out. The Luciferians are the same as the Christians, but the opposite, of course, complete opposite. Well, mind you, got some right arseholes in the Christian community, right judges. They think they know it all, don't they? Awful, terrible people that call themselves Christians. Be loving. Oh, you ain't a Christian, darling. All right. Anyway, Luciferians are to Satan what Jesus Christ is to the loving God. It helps you work it out. Now, if you want to understand the mechanism in the mind and the different layers of the Satanics that are running your planet, they're running your planet, they're running your planet, they're running your planet, they're running everything. They're at the top because they want to infiltrate the planet with Satanism, with Satan. That's their God. Why would they do that? Why would they genocide the humans? Why would they want to take everybody out? Because they don't want to meet God. They don't want to go to a hell. They want to be in a position of non-existence. That's their ultimate goal. Non-existence. But in the meantime, they want to have the best life. They want to have the most money. They want to have the most toys. Here's a book. Dreadful title. Shocking title. Don't let your kids see it. Cannibalism, blood drinking, and higher depth Satanism. It is a really hard read. It's not very long, and this guy's written other books on deconstructing the Illuminati, which of course it exists. And if you can't stretch your mind to that, then this is not the broadcast for you, love. Go and sit down. Just leave, okay? I ain't got time for you. I haven't got time for the Karens and the Moaning Johns or the Collins or whatever. You people get in the way all the time. You get in the way and you block all the time. Now, there's a difference between a higher depth Satanist. They tend not to be so much doing the cannibalism and the blood drinking and the child harming and the, you know, the ending of little ones' lives to have that, you know. Listen, this book has lots and lots and lots of details, but the higher depths are at the top. They're the ones that really crave the power. It's the power for them. And then when they perish, at such a time as they perish, then they want to be nothing. So they want to be the opposite to creation. You know, it's interesting. And it's a hard read. It's a really, really hard read. And it's about this man, Kurt Barker, who was born into a family where he was used by a higher depth satanic that would parade him around, make him dress like a little girl. That's what they like to do. And for the people out there that say everyone in Hollywood is inverted, stop talking rubbish. Have you heard yourself? And to those that say Lady Diana, Princess Diana is alive, stop it. Stop it. Because you've been told so many lies. Who's the other one? That handsome Totty, that good-looking boy. What was his name? The one that went down in the plane, apparently, and his wife. John Kennedy Jr., right? Him, cute boy. If they truly were in witness protection, and now Trump's back in for a second time, where are they? Just knock it off. It's just enough. Stop defending something you know absolutely nothing about. And start defending things that you do know something about. Now, I could go on and on and on here, clearly. You'll notice lately how many friendships are being trashed. Big friendships. It's just happened to me in my inner circle. Like friendships being absolutely trashed and infiltrated. Everyone's being tested. Now, largely in my environment, I'm about proving disclosure. I whistleblow on everything. I whistleblow on everyone. I whistleblow on every system that hurts my brothers and my sisters. on May 10th, 2025. I brought in a fleet of craft over my conference. I'm going to show you the proof. You ready? Diving down and diving across. And that is not Starlink. Okay, now look at this. We saw so many different shaped craft of every kind, and some of the groups of people that I got together to share their footage on my channel. It's all on my channel here. Everything I'm showing you, just got to go Danny Henderson-Jisic, come to this channel, everything is here. Let's have a look at the cigar shaped craft that one man, Michael Doherty, caught behind the moon. Okay. For some reason that doesn't want to play. Doesn't want to play. How rude. Okay, well it's there. You can't really see it, but see where my cursor is? This is him sharing his screen. You can see a cigar-shaped craft and you actually see it going across. Oh, look. Oh! I just discovered a new tool. That's exciting. A little bit boring though, and completely at the wrong time. But anyway, so we saw a cigar-shaped ship. So I've obviously clicked on something. Oh my God. Okay, all these bloody new tools on Zoom, honestly. Hi there. Right, we're back. So let me see if I can get back in there in a second. So I showed you the craft that we called over, and I said to people, May 10th, can you imagine, right? Because I want to prove I'm an extraterrestrial contactee in person, in physical person. I'm not someone that sits and, I wish to speak to the Queen of the Universe. No, I don't do any of that. I mean, it works for some people, but not for me. Because the work I do is physical evidence. Because the maximum people on the planet are going to believe something they physically see. And that's a reality, you know, because you can't be brainwashed that way. You can't be programmed. You can't be duped. You can't be sold into just having faith in something, because you get to see it. And that's what I stand hard on the ground of, is physical proof. So I brought two spacecraft. I had to go through Elena Danan to do it. She had to go to her contacts to do it. But the first two craft were mine. And after that, it was my lovely friend JP. The Army military person who risks his life has permission in the military by certain higher-ups that allow him to talk about the missions going to the moon. The American military have craft at Eglin Air Force Base, and others that can get to the moon in 10 minutes or less. Yeah, it's true. Just because you never heard of it. Who am I? Who am I, you say? I'm Danny Henderson. Nice to meet you. The craft came. Over 2,050 people, the volunteers counted, on the Wish Tower Hill where I said, be at this place, at this time, on this day. Can you imagine? I would have looked like the biggest fibber in the world had the craft not come, and they came. And they came over a 4-hour period. They took their time. Every shape, every color. And one of the ones that you see on the footage I just showed you was a TR-3B, which is a stealth triangular shaped craft. At first you think because the lights are spinning on it, it's a plane. No, Doris, it wasn't a plane. And JP even said it even could be one of the more newer advanced military craft. And what we proved again, we proved on September 27, 2024, that the Earth Alliance, the good military, working hand in hand with members of a military off-planet brothers and sisters that look just like you and me. Not ridiculous looking aliens or spider beings. Definitely not grey ETs. Nothing grey. Oh no. And nothing reptilian. Sakaar, Draco, harmful reptilian. The Nazis were working with the Dracos. The American government was working with the grey ETs. Now they have gone. They were working with the Satanics, the elites, the rulers of the planet. Because the ETs are now taking out the malevolent ones, and I don't care if you don't believe me, and I don't care if your grift comes to an end, because you are pretending that you're being abducted and it's not funny at all. Or you truly believe you're being abducted by reptilians and greys. You're not. It's not happening in real time, if I can give it to you that way. It's not happening in real time. So the plug-in is gone, the power position is gone, the Satanics are also being taken down, and because they've lost their plug-in, they're all turning on each other. And that's what happens with rats on a sinking ship. Where are they going to go? They're going to go against each other. They're all going to tell each other's secrets, and that's what's happening. That's what you're seeing. That's part of it. We bought the craft. We proved it again. And at the moment, there's not very much attention. I called the Sun newspaper in Britain. It's one of Britain's biggest newspapers, and a boy answers the phone. I start to tell him about my event, Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection. And when I said UFO, he hung up like a fool, like a judger. Yeah? Why do people get put in these positions? Okay? Wrong people in the wrong positions. Because you're having to deal with stupid. Because stupid that answered the phone for the Sun has got no experience, no idea at all about the reality of his own planet. Of course he doesn't. I called back. I smacked his bottom for being rude and hanging up. He said, okay, then take this number and send your videos and your footage and the article elenadenan.org wrote. It's called Eastbourne Flyover. I'll put it underneath. elenadenan.org, the woman that the world is terrified of, the dark world, the dark hats, the bad ones, you know, the dark military. They're very scared of Elena because she's brought all the information on the technology of the actual spacecraft. They're identified spacecraft. They're not UFOs. So anyway. So Numbnuts gives me a phone number, and I put it on Facebook and say to everybody, right, send your footage here. And I thought, you know what, this feels wrong. And I was glad I checked because some old lady answered. So I called the number back at the Sun. Same stupid boy answers the phone. I said, you gave me a wrong number. I've posted it online. I checked it with you 3 times. And an old lady now is going to get lots of calls. I called the old lady. I said, I'm so sorry. That was Numbnuts at the Sun answering the main phone there. Anyway, so Numbnuts gives me another phone number for another boy. That boy answers. He picks up the phone. I said, okay, I'm telling you about a spacecraft flyover. I omitted the word UFO because I didn't want to lose that girl as well. And he goes, oh, you mean the Tic Tac? I'm like, listen, mate, half the military craft that you see in the sky is one thing. But half of the UFOs that we think are UFOs or UAPs, that's a military term, UAP, it's a brainwashing term, they are man-made. I said, the Tic Tac is man-made. It's not an ET craft off planet. And he goes, well, I ain't got time for this. I'm like, It's not about you, is it? I said, it's not about you, it's about humanity. We've got to report the information. That's your bloody job. I didn't say that. I wasn't that rude. I wanted to be, though. But, you know, when you're dealing with village idiots, honestly, you've got to be a bit calm, you know, because they just hang up the phone then, don't they? So, you know, or some bird like me gets on her channel and says about the two nun-nut boys that blocked a story. It's the story of the century. And it's a group of people that can bring proof. We can bring evidence. We can bring technology. We can bring extraterrestrials. We can bring information. We can summon a space fleet in the sky for you on the day, at the time and the place. Can you do that? No, you can't. No, you can't. 97% of you out of 100, no, you cannot. Do you know, it's so funny, the ego in people is hilarious. Even on that day, I read a couple of things where people were claiming it was them that bought the craft. I'm like, mate, I advertised for a year. May 10th, 8 o'clock, Wish Tower Hill, we're bringing the space fleet. Anyway, as long as disclosure gets out, I don't care whose name is on it. Michael Doherty, the guy with the cigar-shaped craft, he's got a number, he's got an email, he knows somebody in news. I'm like, mate, send it. He emailed sweetly. He goes, Annie, I want to send my footage because he got loads of footage. I'm like, send it. You know, this is the problem. There are people out there that put themselves on the front line. The Corbell boy. Is it James Corbell? You know, the bloke who does the UFO videos. Half of these people that put themselves as ufologists, they've got no experience. They've never had an experience with an ET. They've never had an experience with a craft, with a spacecraft whatsoever. Yet we're supposed to listen to them. Hello, Danny Henderson. How do you do? It's so annoying. It's so disrespectful, and it just shows you that there are people that don't want disclosure in the disclosure field. The conferences will stop. They'll never be like they were. I mean, they'll be better. We'll have our ETs on stage, of course we will. Well, certainly at my conferences anyway. I can't speak for the others or what their plans are, nor do I care to. But it's important that disclosure moves forward. So someone like me, who lives and breathes it, this is my main mission on this planet. I will speak and I will share and I will prove, and on and on and on. I will not be silenced. Kill me, I will haunt you. I'm a scary bitch like that. I have those skills. So going back to, I called in the craft, JP called in the craft. I had to go through Elena Danan to connect with a man called Jor-El. Jor-El is a physical man who works on a battleship. Now, I know that sounds very Star Trek-y, doesn't it? But if you could just move past that and stop shutting your own mind down and going into your own brainwash program that couldn't possibly be true, it's true. Oh, there's so much I could tell you that's true about your own governments right now. Make you cry for days on end. You won't want to get out of bed for 3 days. You'll be so depressed when you realize the monsters running your planet and blocking everything. But let's not go there right now. So the people that put themselves on the front line, I'm like, I'm so sick of you. Sit your asses down. Get out of the way. Corbell and Knapp and all you people, Gaia TV, what are you doing? Why do you interview people that promote grey alien agendas? By the way, the Greys lost, so have at it. You keep talking all you like. No one's listening anyway. The Greys have got no influence anymore. It's old programs running, so have at it, you know? But you got no balls. Yeah, I just said that. I really did, to your faces. You're scared. And if you weren't scared, you'd contact me. You'd contact Tony Rodriguez. You'd contact JP. You'd contact Elena Danan. You'd contact the four of us. Us four. Us contactees. So let's go. What are we waiting for? Yeah, I wrote notes like Corbell and Knapp and Nick Pope on others like that. You know, the long-termers, that's been their career, right? They've never had an experience. Yeah, shutting down the UFO desk in England in 2012. Are you having a laugh, mate? I almost took it over. I kind of wish I did in 2012. I kind of wish I did. But anyway, I want to say to all of your faces directly, you shouldn't be talking on subjects you know nothing about. You shouldn't be representing as the experts that you are not. You shouldn't still be hypothesizing and postulating and just hyperbole. Why? You're not moving anybody forward. You're not doing your job. Sit down. And we can take the lead here. Because if people really do want disclosure, I'm telling you where to come. Galactic Spiritual Informers. Call any one of us. Interview any one of us. Here's the footage I just showed you. Yeah? So, I'd really like to meet somebody with guts and balls, somebody who's not a liar, somebody who's not a grifter, somebody who actually cares about real news, somebody with a big channel out there, TV, newspaper, yeah? You notice how it's all shut down, it's all quieted? You are not in charge of disclosure. To every person that thinks they are, you are not. To every Lord, Pope, God, Bishop, King, Queen, I don't care how high you've put yourself. You are not in charge of disclosure. And you're not in charge of me. Capiscio? I'm not owned. I'm not bought. I'm free soul. This is what we look like. And we bring the proof. And we bring the receipts. Such a stupid word for a phrase. Another socially engineered phrase. But hey. So I think that's my piece for the day. They want to return to nothing. Oh yeah, that's the Satanics. All friendships are getting attacked. Oh yeah, I also wanted to say as well, just to prove that no one in disclosure knows a damn thing. And you've all been lied to, and most of you fell for it. Nasara Jasara, XRP, Quantum Financial System. How many years have you been listening to the wrong people? How are they still even on a channel? They didn't bring it, did they? They've got all the excuses in the world, don't they? I can't watch this program, but this woman who's lying, Andrea Martin, pretending she's in touch with Jor-El, the Admiral, the physical man that I had to contact to get the ships to come, that fibber. And I don't care, Andrea. I don't care if you've got 6 PhDs. You're lying and you're distracting and you've got in the way of Dr. Sala and others and you've gone down the wrong road, banana brain. You did. And of course I'm going to defend my friend. Of course I am. While you're all corralling around him and disinforming and taking him off on another road. I'll speak out on it. I'm Danny Henderson. I'm known for that. I'm known for telling the truth and standing my ground when I know I'm right. Somebody mentioned a date of 2030 before disclosure. I'm like, oh my God. Do you need reminding again? Let me remind you. 27th of September 2024. How many months ago was that? 7 or 8 months ago, we bought a beautiful fleet of craft. And there's plenty of footage on my channel. And then, May 10th, 3 weeks ago, we bought another massive fleet of craft. Every imaginable shape, size, speed, at the exact place, right over the hill, Wish Tower Hill in Eastbourne, exactly where I said it was, right there. I just showed you the footage. All right, 2,000 people, over 2,000 eyewitnesses. It cannot and will not be denied, and that is my intention. So I'm going to go now. If you want to contact me by email, it's info@galacticspiritualinformers.com. Everything is galacticspiritualinformers.com. That is the website. We have a team. We're running the best conference in the world. But I'm not sitting here to try and sell tickets to my next event in September. I'm not pushing that. I'm pushing the fact that there are people that claim they want disclosure, and I'm saying to your face, no, you don't. You're a liar, and you shouldn't be representing for 30, 40 years because you lied, you sold out, you stopped it, you've blocked it, and I'm telling you, sit down, because my brothers and my sisters are going to hear the truth. They're going to know the truth, and they're going to know how valuable they are and what they can do about having their voice heard. And so to you, beloveds, I am Danny Henderson. I do fight for you. I stand in love. I stand for truth. I stand for the disclosure of my planet, of your planet, of our planet. Stay strong. Stand up. Listen. Educate yourselves. Nikola Tesla's book, My Inventions. Kathy O'Brien's book, The Transformation of America. She's speaking on stage, naming all the names. September 19th, 20th and 21st, 2025. And this book by Kurt Barker, Cannibalism, Blood Drinking, High Adept Satanism. It gives you the rundown and the breakdown, as this book does too, of who actually runs your planet. All about the handlers, the false marriages, the fake marriages, the actual names, the bloodline families, everything. It's all there. As a gift to you, out of the many books I've read and read to educate myself and really find out what's going on in this world, as well as my own physical experiences, these 3 books I couldn't recommend higher. Look on Amazon. You get the link. You do some work, okay? All right. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Stay strong. You're worth it.